Greetings, people of Earth. Brandon, Tom, back here for our third week of picking our local prep football teams, doing our picks. Tom, how did everybody do last week?
Well, you and I both went 8-3.
Mm-hmm.
The Twitter folk finished 7-4. So after a couple of weeks, everybody stands at 15-6.
Well, maybe we'll break that this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
White Pigeon is our only local school of note that has homecoming this week. So if you get a chance and you're a fan of the Chiefs or White Pigeon athletics in general, or you have nothing better to do, make sure you get on over to White Pigeon, where the Chiefs will be hosting 2-0 Go Bulls in a battle of teams looking to get the third win of the year. Rankings came out this week. Neither Tom nor I are voting in the rankings anymore. We'll see what happens when we get to the basketball. They may want us to do that. But locally, Centerville is tied for 9th in Division 7. White Pigeon comes in at number 8 in Division 8. And Colon was officially others receiving votes. But if you went down the list, they're actually number 7 in Division 8 man. And I know, talking to some people over there, they're not happy about that. They feel like they should be ranked higher. So, as Coach Hatton, I assume, is telling his team, let's go out and just win football games and everything will take care of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Other rankings of note, if you didn't see my tweet or Facebook earlier this week, Edwardsburg, who Sturgis will play, is ranked number 2 in Division 3. Coldwater comes in at number 7 for Division 3. Paw Paw is number 1 in Division 4. Schoolcraft comes in at number 5 in D7. Cassopolis is number 8 in D7. And Climax Scots enters as number 5 in the inaugural 8-man poll this week. So those are your rankings of note with 3 of our local teams. So where are we starting, Tom?
Well, we'll start with Sturgis.
Okay.
Like you said, they're going to Edwardsburg, have to face the Eddies. Last year, Edwardsburg came over here, got a 56-0 win. Currently, Edwardsburg, since the Wolverine has gone to the current 10 teams going, so every game's a conference game, the Eddies have gone 37-1. Their lone loss coming to Three Rivers a couple years ago.
It's pretty good.
Last year they won the state title.
Yeah.
Year before they were runners-up. Not looking good for Sturgis. I have to go with the Eddies, 42-7.
I'll take Edwardsburg 45-7. Just too good.
Next up, we got 1-1 Otsego traveling to 0-2 Three Rivers. Last year, the Wildcats got a 30-0 win over the Bulldogs. I'm kind of leaning the other way this time. I'm thinking Otsego gets the win and 24-14.
I'm going to take Otsego as well. Just something not right. I think they win 20-18. Close game.
And Brandon has mentioned both these schools. We've got a battle of 2 teams ranked in Division 7. Centerville's traveling to Cassopolis. Last year, Cass beat Centerville twice, 21-0 regular season, 35-0 in the playoffs. And Cassopolis ended up going all the way to the state semifinals before finally losing to Madison Heights Madison. Both teams obviously come in undefeated. This was the last game I picked, and I'm leaning with the home team, Cassopolis, but I think Centerville's going to give them a battle, but the Rangers get a 21-15 win.
I wasn't sure how good Cass would be. Obviously, I haven't seen them yet, but them beating Mendon 28-0 last week tells me that they're probably a lot better than we think. And obviously, no disrespect to Centerville. With Mr. Todd and Mr. Yoder, they have a couple pretty good backs coming out of the backfield there. And then Jared Spencer last week, huge game for them too. I just don't know. Cass, it looks like they're better than we thought they were, and they're playing at home, coming off a win over Mendon. I got to think that they don't have a letdown this week. So I'm going to take Cass 26-20.
Next up in Southwest 10, we got 1-1 Mendon traveling to 2-0 Marcellus. Last year, Mendon got a 34-0 win. Just looking at the schedules, obviously Mendon has played, Decatur and Cassopolis. Marcellus has played 2 of the lesser teams in the Southwest 10 to get to 2-0. I just think strength of schedule so far for Mendon that they're going to end up getting a 22-8 win over the Wildcats.
I'll take Mendon 35-18 over Marcellus.
And you mentioned White Pigeon is hosting homecoming. They're playing Gobles, a team that they've met twice before in the recent past in 2011 and 2012. Gobles won both of those games. Those years, Gobles made the playoffs. Back then, White Pigeon went 2-7 those seasons, so
A little different.
A little different. This time, White Pigeon, playoff team last year.
That's right.
Gobles, their 2 wins this year equals the 2 wins they've had the last 2 years combined. So that plus one of the wins Gobles got was over Wyoming Lee last week. I like their nickname, the Legends. However, the Legends in the last 10 years have only got 10 total victories. So not a real tough team.
No.
In fact, 4 0-9 seasons in there. So I'm going to go with White Pigeon 21-13.
I'll take White Pigeon 31-6.
We got Constantine is traveling up to Comstock. Last year, Constantine got a 62-7 win.
Right.
Comstock's 0-2, Constantine 1-1.
You want me to go ahead?
Go ahead.
I'm going to
You
go
go.
ahead. Talking with some people that were at Constantine last week, I saw them score the first 2 touchdowns against Berrien Springs, and then they turned it over 4 times throughout the game in Berrien Springs territory. So moving the football is not an issue for Constantine, but I got to think that several of those kids were, turnovers, mistakes happen. But, maybe a handful of them were carrying footballs with them to class and everything else this week, which seems like one way to help out, maybe. High and tight. I'm going to take Constantine big. Something tells me they figure it out this week. I'll go 63-12.
Well, you're going a little bit higher than me. I'm thinking the Falcons get a 42-14 win.
Okay.
Next up, we got Springport, the only Big 8 team that's undefeated, against Bronson, who's 0-2. Last year, the Spartans got a 45-0 win. I'm leaning toward the Spartans getting a win again this week.
Yes.
But I think Bronson gets on the board. Final score 35-14.
I'm going to take Springport as well. Spartan, it seems like maybe the Springers. The Springport Springers.
They're blue Spartans too, not green Spartans.
I'll go 42-12 Springport.
All right. Getting into 8-man football. Colon, 2-0, will host Battle Creek St. Phil at 1-1. Last year, the Magi got a 43-12 win.
I think that was a Saturday game too. If I remember
Yeah,
right.
if it was up there, it would have been Saturday, definitely. Since St. Phil plays on Battle Creek Central's course,
Right.
or field. Why am I thinking course?
We were talking a lot of golf earlier.
That's true. Anyhow, I think Colon, a little bit upset by their ranking,
I agree.
gets a 52-12 win over the Fighting Tigers.
Funny, I went and saw my dentist, Dr. Smolars, earlier this week, and we had mentioned on the Facebook Live on Friday night that Colon had 25 plays and they scored all these points, and there must be something wrong with the stats guy. But Mr. Smolars informs me that that was it. 25 plays. That's all I ran, and he runs a pretty good stat program there. So
Yeah, considering he does them for the state.
Yeah,
down the road.
I gotta think Colon is upset. Rankings or whatever. I mean, as long as you keep winning football games, the rankings will take care of themselves. But they're probably playing a little bit of chip on their shoulder. I would think maybe use that as motivation, and that's not good for Battle Creek St. Phil at all. So I'm gonna take Colon big. I'll go 55-6.
In the other 8-man game, Burr Oak travels over to North Adams Jerome. Bobcats 1-1. The Rams 0-2. Last year, the Rams got a 48-16 win.
Right.
I'm looking at it, and North Adams Jerome appears to be struggling this year.
Looks that way.
Looked at who they played and the teams that they played, and I'm thinking the Bobcats will come away, get a late score with a 35-27 win.
Yeah, 48-16 is not happening this year. Ryan thinks Stevens, coach for Burr Oak, thinks that was a game last week that they could have won. And maybe correct some things, get some things figured out. I think Burr Oak goes over there and gets a win too. I think they get to 2-1. I'll go 38-28.
And down in Indiana, Lakeland, coming off a win last week, will host Garrett. Both teams come into the game 1-2. Last year, the Lakers got a 27-16 win against the Railroaders. I think Lakeland makes it another win with a 30-13 final score.
Yeah, I think Lakeland gets to 2-2 as well. I'm going to go 28-7 because they're going to find a way.
Mhm.
They'll get it figured out.
Well, it looks like we both picked the same things, but
Yeah.
we'll have to see how it works out. We'll have to see how the people who vote on Twitter at touchdown_TomSJ
Mhm.
vote, see how those results turn out.
Yep.
And I think that should do it for this week.
Yeah, that wraps it up, I suppose. So good luck to all the local teams tonight. Well, this week anyway, not tonight. And we have several other homecomings coming up within the next couple of weeks as well. So get out there while you can before it gets cold, before it gets rainy and nasty and everything else. And enjoy some football.
See ya.